Title: Alien Girl's body was rebuilt from just a hand. The first face she saw was a human janitor. The sterile hum of machinery filled the cold, white room. Vials of strange liquids bubbled in transparent tubes, and the air smelled faintly of chemicals. The dim lights flickered, casting long shadows on the walls of the medical bay. Amidst all the quiet, a single metallic hand lay on a sterile slab, twitching slightly. It was the last piece of an alien girl who had barely survived the ravages of a brutal accident. The medics had done their best. They had rebuilt her from nothing. Well, not nothing, just a hand. But in the advanced world of medical science, a hand was enough. The girl's body had been reconstructed from alien DNA that the medics had painstakingly preserved. They had worked tirelessly to reassemble every cell, every organ, every bone. Yet the process was far from flawless. Her limbs had been pieced together with an unnatural grace, but her form lacked the familiar warmth of life. Her face empty, waiting for the final touch. The hand, her last remaining piece, had been carefully placed in a containment chamber, a symbol of both hope and sorrow. For a moment, it looked like a hand from an ancient statue, weathered, silent. But even it, the last piece of her, was now on the cusp of becoming something more. Days passed in quiet anticipation. Medics checked the progress regularly, but there was a profound stillness to the place. Only one person came to visit, someone who had no real duty in this sterile place. Nathan was a janitor. His job wasn't glamorous. He was the one who cleaned the floors, took out the trash, and mopped up spills. He wasn't a scientist or a doctor. He was a man who had learned to keep out of the way, to be unnoticed. But Nathan had always felt an unusual pull to the laboratory. Not many people lingered after hours, but he did. It wasn't that he was curious about the experiments. It was the girl's hand, the only part of her that was visible. For reasons he couldn't explain, Nathan felt something for it. He would stand in the back of the lab, wiping down counters, watching the hand as it lay there. There was something almost human about it. Sometimes, when he cleaned the area near the containment chamber, he swore he could hear the faintest of sounds, like breathing. But he knew better. It was just his mind playing tricks on him. One evening, as Nathan worked quietly, the air in the room seemed to shift. The hum of the machines intensified, and a soft clicking sound echoed through the chamber. The hand twitched again, its fingers curling as though it had suddenly come to life. Nathan stepped closer, his heart pounding in his chest. His gaze shifted to the containment chamber. And then it happened. The hand began to glow. Faint blue light bathed the room, and the hum of machinery grew louder. Nathan stood frozen in place, his breath shallow. The room seemed to come alive around him, as though the walls themselves were humming with the power of something far beyond his understanding. Before Nathan could react, a low voice echoed from the containment chamber. "Who are you?" Nathan's knees went weak. It was her. The girl. The first thing he noticed was the glow in her eyes, faint yet distinct, a sign that she was no longer a mere fragment of flesh and bone. He could see her face now, though it was as unfamiliar to him as any alien visage. Yet there was something almost human in it, something that stirred deep inside him. "I'm Nathan," he replied, unsure whether the words would even be understood. "I'm just a janitor." Janitor. The voice was soft, almost musical, but full of confusion. "Why did you help me?" Nathan's gaze darted around the room, the medical equipment still buzzing. "I didn't help you. I just cleaned." The girl's form took shape slowly as the machines worked to complete her. Her limbs extended, fingers wavered, and the curves of her body became more defined. But Nathan was focused on her face, the face that was now fully formed, yet completely alien. Her skin shimmered faintly, a shade of purple that was unlike anything Nathan had ever seen. Her hair, silver and flowing, cascaded down her back in waves of liquid light. She was beautiful, yet terrifying in her strangeness. "I remember nothing," she said, her voice trembling. "Who am I?" Nathan took a cautious step forward. "You're alive. That's all that matters. You're safe now." The girl blinked, and for a moment, her eyes softened. Alive. But what now? Nathan didn't know how to answer. How could he? She wasn't human. She had no family, no place in this world. The reality of it all was sinking in, and Nathan felt an overwhelming responsibility for her, even though he had no idea how to guide her through this strange new life. The girl extended her hand toward him. It was the same hand that had first been reconstructed, yet now it was warm and full of life. "Will you help me?" Nathan hesitated for a moment, then slowly reached out. His fingers brushed against hers. The contact sent a shock through him, an electric jolt, as if the universe itself had just connected them. "I will," Nathan whispered, unsure of what this meant for either of them, but certain of one thing: they had both been given a second chance. "We'll figure it out together." The girl smiled faintly, her alien face glowing with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. She wasn't alone anymore. She wasn't just a hand. She was alive. And the first face she saw was his. As the girl's body fully formed, Nathan felt an inexplicable pull towards her. The quiet hum of the lab seemed to fade as the reality of what had happened settled in. She was no longer a mysterious figure in a containment chamber. She was alive and reaching out to him for support. "I'm not sure how to help you," Nathan said softly, his voice shaking with the weight of responsibility. The girl's eyes, glowing faintly with the strange energy that powered her reconstruction, fixed on him with a look of silent plea. "You don't need to know everything right now," she replied. Her voice, now clear and strong, filled the sterile air with warmth. "I have nothing left. But now, with you, I think I can learn to be something. Someone." Nathan wasn't sure if she meant that she wanted to learn to be human or something else entirely, but he nodded. "You're not alone anymore." He stepped closer, wrapping a hand gently around her newly formed arm. The bond between them wasn't just one of survival. It was the beginning of a partnership, human and alien, bound together by fate and the unexpected kindness that had bridged the vast distance between them. "Let's start fresh," Nathan said, as the lights in the room flickered once more. She smiled, the alien features of her face now softened by the new life within her. "Together," she agreed, as her first step into this world was guided by the man who had simply cleaned the floors. And as Nathan led her out of the lab, they both took their first steps into an uncertain world, but with hope and the shared promise of something more. End.